everybody, this is Tina with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and welcome to my Project Life series. This is going to be going on all month, and then the next 3 days, Sunday through Tuesday, I have a ton of videos for you guys. And a ton of information. When I originally started thinking about doing a Project Life series, like a little mini series, I thought, oh, I'll just do a couple videos and it'll be okay. And it turned out that I had a lot more content that I wanted to cover and share with you guys. So what I've done is I've just broken up all of the content into several videos, so you guys don't have to sit and watch a 2-hour long video of me rambling on to you guys. You guys can really just pick and choose which videos you want to watch and which ones you don't, which content you want to see or hear about or learn about, and then the other ones you don't have to watch. So I have a lot to cover, and I just developed this mini series because I get a lot of emails. Ever since I started this last year, I've really shared with you guys on a monthly basis, once or twice a month, really what I'm doing with Project Life, and I get a ton of questions and emails, and I try to get back to you guys. I try to answer every single email I get, and I try to answer them really with as much information as I can, but I know sometimes through email things slip through the cracks. So I really wanted to take this time. We're in December. I know it's a really busy time of the year for everybody, me included. And so I really wanted to take some time right before New Year starts to share with you guys all of this information so that if you're on the fence about starting Project Life, you could start it in January and be really fresh for the new year. When I originally found Project Life, it was in April, and I really felt like I had to wait until the beginning of the year. I didn't. I did kind of start, but then I never felt really good about what I was doing. And so this year, I started at the beginning of this year with a really good system, and I've gone all year long, and I'm still in December loving Project Life and loving my album and how it's coming out. And then also, this is the first year ever that I'm completely caught up. I will enter the new year with a brand new album, starting a brand new album, and in the 15 years that I've been scrapbooking, that has never happened. So let's just jump in and get started. I wanted to first share with you guys my story about how I found Project Life. If you followed my blog for very long, you sort of know because you've seen it evolve over time. But to really understand why I adore Project Life so much, you really have to understand what I did before I found Project Life and why I switched, because I was a traditional scrapbooker. So when I say traditional scrapbooker, I mean I did pages like this. So these are some of the very last pages that I did as a traditional scrapbooker. This is my son. He's our third child, and you can see that they're just very traditional. I used the Cricut, I used die cuts, I typed all of my journaling. I came out, you're not going to see my face, so hopefully, let me see. I came out with really fun layouts and designs to put it all together. I layered and I inked and I chalked and I embossed, and I did all of these really fun things, and I loved it. I loved it. And you can go over to my website by clicking at the very top of this video. You can go right over to my website and view a photo of this layout. And I really enjoy doing this kind of scrapbooking. Both of my girls have scrapbooks of their first year that look like this. Our family has a family album for every single year since I started scrapbooking. And so I do that. I do them for my kids every year. I do them for our family every year. I do them as gifts. I'm in the middle of working on a friend's wedding album. It is really the heart of who I am. I just love to get photos, to put them in albums, to have them to look through. I love for our kids to look through their albums. It's just, it probably comes from a lot of growing up, I don't have anything from my childhood. So I have maybe a handful of photos, 15 photos maybe I have. And then I have no memorabilia from my childhood. I have none of my schoolwork, none of my baby items. I don't have a baby book, nothing. I don't have anything. And so because of that, I'm sort of extreme when it comes to my kids' stuff, and I really want to preserve our memories, and I want them to have that. As I got more into this hobby and loved it more and more, I just wanted to share it with my friends and family, and I wanted them to do it. And I just thought it was so important that they do it. As I did that, I would come across people that would say to me, I'm not creative. I remember somebody saying this to me, and I thought, but you have such an amazing life. Don't you want to document it? Like, don't you want to document all these amazing things you're doing? And then I would hear people say, I don't have the time. I don't know how to pick all that stuff out. I don't have the room for all this stuff. And I was one of those people that had an entire craft room full of items it was just for scrapbooking. There was no other reason. I didn't have a business at the time. When I first started, I didn't have any other reason than I just loved what I did. I loved my hobby. But I really wanted people to do it. I really wanted them to see. I didn't want them to love the creative part. It's not that I wanted them to love doing this. What I wanted them to see the importance of was the photos. The photos that you can look back on. I have friends that take a million photos of awesome things that they do, and they're all in shoeboxes in the top of their closet, and they never even get them out. And you can say, oh, remember when you took that trip back then, and you went here and you went there and you did this? And she will be able to go to the shoebox and pull out the exact thing you're talking about. She knows exactly where it is, but I'm always sad to see them in a closet not looked at. So what happened is, I just loved doing it, and I did it, and I shared it with everybody, and I was very passionate about it, and I blogged about it when I really had no reason to blog about it other than to just share it. And then I had my first baby, and I thought, well, this is still doable. This isn't hard. And then I had my second baby, and I thought, well, this is still doable. I can do this. I can do this. I can do it all. And then I had a third baby, and I started a business, an at-home business, and we were more involved than ever, and I knew we were going to homeschool, and it was coming up, and I was doing, let me show you the page I was doing when this happened, when this all happened. So I was working on on Andrew's album, and this is the page. Looks so simple now. So it was this page, I was doing this page, and it was a 2-page layout, and it looked like this. And that page took me 2 hours to do. Between finding the design I liked, picking the paper, deciding what Cricut cuts I wanted, cutting them, embellishing them, it took me about 2 hours to do. And it was 11 o'clock at night, and I had a 5-week-old baby. And I did my layout, and it creeped up to 1 o'clock, and I looked down at the time, and I thought, this is why people say they can't do this. This is why. I can't do this. I'm behind on my family album. I have my girls' album, and it's taking me 2 hours to do every single layout. That is not going to work. It's not going to work. And what happened was I accidentally stumbled on a video from Becky Higgins, and I share that video on my blog on today's post of the video that I saw, and I cried when I watched it. It was this 5-minute video, and she conveyed every single thing that was important to me about wanting to continue this hobby. And so for I'd say about 2 months, I just researched everything about Project Life. What is it? Who's doing it? And it was a relatively new company at the time. It was only 2 years old. Like, this company, Project Life, is not that old. It's only 4 years old as of right now. So when I was first researching it, there wasn't a lot of bloggers out there. There wasn't a lot of getting started. How do you do it? And so as I decided this is what I wanted to do, I kind of had to stumble through finding what worked, because when you're a traditional scrapbooker, when you love doing this, the idea of doing this, pockets, photo, journaling, maybe something fun, more photos, it seems very, what? Why would I do that? How is that creative? How is that fun? And so I didn't know that I didn't think I would enjoy it. I thought, well, I love the creative process of it. And so what happened is I just decided to dive in and do it, and I decided to use all my own supplies. And so I just thought, I'll cut them up, I'll use the page protectors, it'll be easy. So that is where my Project Life journey started, and I'm going to take you through the next several weeks, the next 3 days. Of course, we're gonna have a ton of stuff. I have more videos for you guys today, but we are gonna go all through all of those things that I went through, my entire journey of, well, what do I do? How do I use the pockets? How do I go from a traditional scrapbooker? My mind was set in taking major photos of major events. So I took 100 photos of every birthday. I took 100 photos of every single holiday, but I never took photos of just a Friday at our house or the, Wednesday night dinner. I never took photos like that. So I was missing out on 90% of our life. And what really made me change the way I took photos and the way I thought about photos is I thought, I really don't care to see, I wouldn't care to see, my grandma, all of the birthdays she's ever had. But what I do desire to see of her life, is what she did on a random Wednesday night. So that, it was a transition. It was from taking these, how do I go from taking more everyday photos, every, daily type photos, and letting go of taking 100 photos of one event. So it took me a while. It was a journey for me. So I am going to go ahead and I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to say, I hope you guys will follow along with me. I hope you guys will watch some of our other videos. I have a little note here of what's going to happen. I'm going to do a video next on just the basic Project Life products that you need. So the very basics. So if you want to start in January, you're not going to have to wait until the end of December when the series is over to understand what you need to get. I'm going to do a video on just the main items that you need to get and share what I'm using next year for my album. I've got an album and everything. So I'm going to do that. And then tomorrow we're going to do, for getting started, what happened when I first got started, what happened in those months after I found Project Life and I decided to use my own product. Because a lot of you could be thinking like I did, well, I'll just use my own product and I'll chop it up and I don't need to buy Project Life kits, or it's not necessary. And I really do think it's necessary. It was a huge, not necessarily important, but it was something that really made a difference in how I enjoyed doing Project Life. So I'm going to talk about that. I have a video with a friend that I did. I did a video with Wendy. A lot of you guys know her from following my YouTube channel. She's a really good friend of mine, and she got about 5 months behind, and we did a video together. We shot a video together of getting caught up, and it's a really long video. It's I think it's almost a half an hour long, and it's getting caught up when you're behind. If you want to get caught up, like right now, you want to be like, I want to get caught up and, figure out so I can start fresh in January. There's a video that we just go through and we do that, and to help her get caught up. And then we're going to set some goals. That is the biggest thing I did this at the beginning of the year, is I set 3 major goals I wanted to accomplish this year in my album, and I let everything else go. I was just like, this is what's important, and I just focused on that. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to look at my core kits, how I store them, how I organize them, how I use them, why I use them that way. And we're also going to talk about how I use Stampin' Up, how Stampin' Up really became an important item in my scrapbooking and in project life, and how well they go together and how simple it made my life. That was the key. And then we're going to talk about photos, taking photos, organizing them digitally on your computer, keeping them, backing them up, how to store them in your home when you have them, when to get them printed, how often to get them printed. We're going to have a whole week on where we focus on photos. And then we're going to have a week where we talk about journaling, how to do, if you want to do it on the computer, if you want to handwrite it, why it's important to have handwritten journaling in your album. And then the very last week, we're going to put it all together. So we are going to get all of our supplies, and we're going to put a layout together, and just go through the whole process. And then you'll have access to all of those videos, of course, all month long. And then hopefully in January you'll get started. So on my website today, accompanying this video, is a kind of an agenda of what's going to happen, which week we're going to talk about what, and how many videos there will be for that week. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all of the emails that you send, asking questions, wanting to know about this. My desire is really to see you get the answers to your questions. So please, if you have questions, if you want, me to cover something, answer something, please leave a comment below. Let me know. I will cover it. I will add it in. I will do a video on it. I mean, I am really doing Project Life this month so that you guys can feel comfortable starting January 1st. And on my Facebook page, you can find me at Loving Life's Little Blessings, and you can ask a question there, anywhere, you guys. I just really want your feedback. I want to know where you're at, and I want to know what is helpful to you guys. So thank you guys for coming by, and I'll have a couple more videos for you guys today, and then I'll see you again tomorrow for more Project Life. So thanks guys, and I'll talk to you later.